Hey everyone, this is Heidi from the blog Hands Occupied with another knitting video tutorial for you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through working a chunky cable stitch. To work this chunky cable stitch, you're going to need to cast on your needles a multiple of 9 stitches plus 5. For demonstration's sake, and to save some time, I just did 14 stitches, so just 9 plus 5 stitches here in this blue yarn. But in this variegated yarn over here, I did 2 repeats, so 2 sets of 9 stitches plus 5 more stitches. And so what I've also done, for efficiency's sake, is worked rows 1 through 6 of the pattern, because they're just the same 2 rows repeated with knit and purl stitches. And now I'm going to walk you through creating the chunky cable. So what we're going to do here is we're going to work our pattern until we get to the set of 6 stitches, the stockinette panel, in the middle of our work. So we're going to knit 1, purl 3, and then we're ready to do our cable. So I'm going to use one of my favorite things to use when I'm working cables, which is just a plain old double-pointed needle. You can also use hook-shaped cable needles or U-shaped cable needles, depending on your preference. There's a whole bunch of different varieties available at the craft store, but if you're desperate and you have some DPNs laying around, you can just go ahead and use one of those. So to work the cable, we've got our set of 6 stitches in stockinette stitch here. What we're going to do is grab 3 stitches using our double pointed needle, just slip them as if to purl, and we're going to let those 3 stitches hang out in front of our work, and we're going to work the next 3 stitches of those 6 stitches as if those 3 cable needle stitches aren't even there. So we're going to knit those 3, and now we're going to work the 3 stitches that are hanging out at the front of our work. So you can work right off of the cable needle if you can juggle the 2 needles in your left hand at once. We're going to knit 3, drop the cable needle on our work surface, and then we can finish off our row with purl 3 and knit 1. And so that right there, that twist in our work, is where the cable's formed. Then on the other side, we're going to work our standard wrong side row, which is purl 1, knit 3, purl 6, and that's the 6 stitches that we just cabled. So they might be a little clustered or tight. Just keep that in mind if you're new to cabling. And then we'll work 3 knit stitches and end our row with a purl 1. And that is what the 8-row repeat looks like for this chunky cable stitch. I worked this on worsted weight yarn, so I'm using size 8 needles and worsted weight yarn on both the swatch and this demonstration. But if you want to do them really chunky, all you've got to do is work with a bulkier yarn and an appropriate larger sized needle. So taking a look at what a few more repeats of this chunky cable stitch looks like, you can see I've worked it in 2 sets across this swatch and in 2 repeats of each set of 8 rows vertically. And then I worked a couple more stitches just so my swatch would be nice and symmetrical. And you can see the elegant, tight twist of this chunky cable stitch. This chunky cable stitch works great on hats, cowls, and other winter accessories, but cables really are one of the most gorgeous things you can do in knitting, so they're right at home just about anywhere. If you've got any questions for us, don't hesitate to reach out in the comments, and tune in again soon for more knitting tutorials.